All right. All right, good evening, everybody. I'm Ash Kalra. I'm very honored to be the State Assembly member here in San Jose. And I want to welcome everyone to our annual Women's History Month celebration. And I'm so happy that we're in person. We haven't done this in person since 2019. And so it's just wonderful that we're able to come together again in person, celebrate incredible women in our community. And actually, as many of you know, I do other celebrations. We had our African American History Month celebration last month. We've had other celebrations, but most of them have been online, including last year's Women's History Month celebration. And so this is really the first time we're trying to venture out and having in-person celebrations. So I'm so happy. And again, this is a hybrid event. A lot of you are online, Facebook and YouTube, but we do have our honorees here with their guests so that they can feel all the love and celebration in person as well. And so I want to start, first of all, we'll wish everyone a very happy Cesar Chavez Day. We're doing this on the last day of March, which is still Women's History Month, but it's also Cesar Chavez Day, so it's a twofer. And since it's Women's History Month, let's give a shout out to Laura Suerta. But today was amazing. So on the floor of the Assembly, we actually presented and voted on a resolution recognizing Cesar Chavez Day. And then we walked out in front of the Capitol and met with the farm workers. We're out there rallying for a bill that unfortunately our governor has previously vetoed, but we're going to make sure he never does that again. That is to help empower our farm workers, making sure they can represent, they can have strong representation, and making sure they can fight for better wages and better benefits, and for safety and health and safety in their working conditions. And so I think it's appropriate, since so many of our farm workers are hardworking women that toil 10, 12, 14 plus hours a day, working hard so that we can put food on our table. So I think that's a great way to think about and start a Women's History Month celebration while also honoring the legacy of Cesar Chavez and the work of Dolores Huerta. And so in that same vein, as I mentioned, this is the first time that we've been together for this event in 3 years. I want to start by recognizing last year's honoree. And I want to mention that she was actually chosen as the 2020 honoree, but COVID hit, so we had to cancel everything. And they quickly moved to just like a social media recognition. And I said, well, I'd rather just not do the recognition at all and wait until next year when we're all going to be in person again. Well, that didn't happen because of COVID, right? Because of the pandemic. And so we could, she definitely deserves to be honored 2 years in a row. We could have honored her this year, 3 years in a row and kept it going. But the reality is that it doesn't matter whether we honor her online or in person. Jean Cohen deserves recognition every single year and every single day for the work that she does. And so I wanted to make sure, although we did recognize her last year in our online Women's History Month celebration, that we had her come here in person so we all can in person also show her love and show her recognition. She's the leader of our South Bay Labor Council, the vice chair of our Democratic Party, and everyone that knows her knows how hard she works for working people, how hard she works for our Democratic Party and democratic values and progressive values, and what a great role model she is for all women in our valley. So I'm going to ask Jean Cohen to come up here so I can in person recognize her for last year's recognition as 2021 Women of the Year.
Thank you so much, Ash. I guess what I want to say is thank you, because you're a feminist, you're a proud union advocate, and you're very supportive of women everywhere. And it's just an honor to work with you, and it's an honor to be here with Betty in particular, and everyone here who just stands up for the community. So thank you so much.
She's been on recognized 3 years in a row, which is totally fine with me. Totally fine with me. Yeah. And so now we'll move on to this year's honorees, and we do have some food coming out, by the way, so I can't help it. The camera's on me and I can walk around a lot. So on that screen with the live stream, like, I know, and the chords about to pull. Anyway, here we are. So I'm going to start with our woman of distinction. We have a couple different recognitions there, and our first one is Victoria Partida. And so Victoria, come up here so while I talk about it. Victoria Partida lives in East Side San Jose, so she has worked with her neighbors to establish the first public park in the Tropicana neighborhood. Yeah. Anyone that knows, it's not easy to do that. She also spearheaded advocacy efforts to establish the first mural artwork in her community. Victoria has a master's of public health from Stacie State University, and she recognizes the importance of the built environment that contributes to a person's physical and emotional well-being. Victoria works at Community Health Partnership, leading the organization's health coverage unit. She provides technical assistance to federally qualified health centers to enroll patients into health coverage programs. I know that she works a lot with our undocumented and immigrant communities. Victoria is a lifelong advocate for reducing health-related disparities that disproportionately impact financially disadvantaged families and communities of color. Congratulations and thank you, Victoria, for everything that you do for our community. 2022 Woman of Distinction.
Assemblymember Carla. I do want to say thank you, muchas gracias a todas las mujeres, mis vecinas, in honor of Women's History Month. Muchas gracias. Councilmember Maya Esparza for really being the champion at City Council for our park. We really need those people being our cheerleaders at City Council. And of course, I want to thank my fiance, my baby over there, for being my cheerleaders and inspiring me to do the work that I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And folks got the free tickets, right? So if the server comes out, make sure you order something. And next up, mine's going to get a little marketing. And yeah, I do want to thank the Brit when we when we asked if we could host it here, no hesitation at all. The Brit is amazing. One of my friends, John Conway, who's one of the owners I've known for well over 20 years. He was the president of the Bar Association, and I was on the Bar Association board. And he's a phenomenal guy that advocates for the community and always opens up the space for community events. So I appreciate it. And this is a newly renovated portion of the Brit. During the pandemic, they opened it all up, and it's got a paseo that connects to San Pedro Square. So everyone online, come check it out. Yeah, thank you to the Brit. And so next up, women of distinction, San Jose makers, Bernadette Gasca and Anis Limones. So San Jose Makers was founded by Bernadette and Anis. San Jose Makers is an optimistic support team of local creatives and families who all seek the same goal: to elevate positive growth within our San Jose community. Collaborating with various local artists, markets, small businesses, and musicians, San Jose Makers' key focus is to give and share safe spaces that creates connections that in turn encourage future generations to break barriers to rebuild and keep communities unified. Driven by the social injustices communities of color often face, which are magnified by the pandemic, San Jose Makers continue to create impactful change in their surrounding areas and families. This is done through communication with creatives of all ages, offering workshops on small business resources and needs, marketing strategies, and everything. The main goal is to create opportunities and ensure resources are rightly distributed to those most in need. San Jose makers believe in focusing on what makes our San Jose community resilient, driven, passionate souls, working towards keeping families and individuals armed with proper tools to seek and successfully live the life they deserve, while uplifting one another in the process. So I want to thank San Jose makers, Bernadette, and Lise. Thank you so much for everything you do, women of distinction.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to our community, to all the vendors that supported us, our families, and
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that's been with us throughout the whole journey. A lot of the vendors, a lot of the makers, our community. We couldn't do it really without everybody that pulled together.
okay, everyone. Cheers.
We do have some food that's starting to come out. So as you see the food come out, the plates and all that, feel free to go grab something as they bring out the silverware plates and everything. Next up is our Legacy Award. So our Legacy Award is being given to PJ Hirabayashi. Come on, come on. Next time I talk about you because it's fun. And we get all embarrassed and all that. And plus your mom's here, so I have to be nice to her. Your mom's from 97, and she looks fantastic. So PJ Hirabayashi is a pioneer of the North American taiko movement. She's also the artist director emeritus and the original member and performer for 40 years and counting with San Jose Taiko, a world-class performing ensemble of taiko drummers that was also the third taiko group to form in the United States. PJ obtained her master's degree in urban and regional planning from San Jose State University in 1977. And yeah, a lot of Spartan, yes. A lot of Spartan energy, Spartan. Juan's about to graduate in May, here we go. And she wrote her thesis on San Jose, Japantown, one of the best places in San Jose. Being a student activist in Asian American Studies, she began to define her values in activism and cultural expression. In 1977 through 79, she was acting coordinator for the Asian American Studies program at San Jose State University and an instructor for Asian American communities classes. PJ designed beautiful, functional, and iconic costumes for the performing company, which characterized the spirit and personality of the group and its ties to Japanese culture. As a certified peace ambassador for the SHIFT network, PJ seeks to inspire personal, social, and global change through the music and art of taiko drumming. PJ shares her work and passion in taiko with her husband, Roy. In 2023, they will be celebrating 50 years at San Jose Taiko. When I used to say 50 years, I used to say almost so light. Now I have to say a little bit younger than me, but still, it's all good. Together, they've been honored for their dedication and leadership in the arts and have received lifetime achievement awards, such as the Artist Legacy Laureate Award from Silicon Valley Creates and the National Heritage Fellowship for Traditional and Folk Arts Award from the National Endowment for the Arts. PJ is amazing to this day, still inspiring young artists inspiring the Japantown community and the entire city of San Jose and Silicon Valley. So congratulations, PJ Hirabayashi, on the 2022 Legacy Award.
What an honor, and I am honored to also share this day with all the other honorees. Thank you very much. I have to say that I am blessed to be celebrating this. And I also, in my description of what my background is, I want to acknowledge the fact that this is a women's award for leadership, but there's like erasing that border between what Roy and I have created together. And I think that is also a testimony to what co-creativity is among gender. Erasing any of that difference. And my mom, 97 years old. Or get going. Come on, don't stop. And she keeps me alert and busy. So thank you so much.
Well, then your mom, the woman of the century. PJ. And finally, the Woman of the Year Award, Betty Young. Come on up. Come on down, right? I was gonna say. So Betty Young is the Chief of Staff to Santa Clara County Supervisor Stacie Shih. Before that, she served as Program Manager for the County of Santa Clara Vietnamese American Service Center, overseeing service coordination, program design, facility management, and operations. So this is a groundbreaking center, unlike any other in the nation. And Betty was served as program manager. Betty has staffed the development of the center since 2013 and was appointed as the lead in April 2021. Prior to joining the BASC leadership team, Betty served the county's residents in a number of roles, including as the interim division supervisor for the Division of Equity and Social Justice, and previously led the county's Office of Labor Standards Enforcement as chair of the Labor Committee in the State Assembly. I'm very proud of that effort. That is, again, also a landmark office in the state of California and even nationally. In addition, during the pandemic, Betty was a lead public information officer, managing all communications on behalf of the county's Emergency Operations Center. Yeah, she does a lot. I mean, seriously. Betty received her law degree from the University of California, Davis King Hall School of Law, and a Bachelor of Arts degree in Asian American Studies from UC Berkeley. And is a proud graduate of the College. So, I mean, I've known Betty, since she was interning in the Assembly office, Assemblymember Joe Coto's office, and I feel honored to have seen her grown and become such an extraordinary leader in our community, to be part of the journey, to be partners in serving our community and collaborators, and it's amazing. And so, Betty, you're incredible. It's my honor to recognize you as our 2022 award.
Shout out to my mom, my perpetual woman of the year, who's at home right now. Hi, Mom. And I just want to say thank you. 10 years ago, not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was interning for former Assemblymember Joe Cotto, and that was the first time I was exposed to Woman of the Year at the state capitol, and I saw all these women being honored, rightfully so, right, at the state capitol. And I just remembered watching the diversity of women and all the diversity of backgrounds and just being really inspired by that. And really the North Star of my, really helped define the North Star of my compass, that be like them, be like the women who have paved the way, be like women who have led the way. So representation matters, and I'm gonna not be very honest. I'm having a major fangirl moment. SJ makers, like you're quintessential San Jose culture, and your care of Petesto Park. You don't know this. I'm a fan, but I met you at the park a number of times. We just moved to the North Side neighborhood, so I'm so glad to call you my neighbors. Thank you. And then PJ, just what you've done. Your Asian American Studies legacy. And we have one of the only 3 original Nihonmachis in the country. So this is living history. Thank you for carving out. And when I studied Asian American Studies, it's really to follow your footsteps. So thank you. And Jean Cohen, leading the labor movement, your leadership, making sure that working families, working moms have a fair chance, right? Just equal access and having the right access to resources. Your work is tireless, and to be considered amongst the same on the same stage with same honor as you ladies, I think this is such a defining moment for myself, and just thank you so much. This is really the greatest honor to be alongside you all. So I hope we get to do a group picture.
Oh, we will. We'll have everybody bring up
Yes.
after our picture, I have a couple other things.
Yes, and Ash, you're coming down the mic for me. It's okay.
No, I was gonna make sure that's what it's up.
Thank you. But I just ultimate feminist. Like from day one, I remember when I met you, and I was just an intern. Not just interns are
Yes,
interns
interns
from the
are
world. Interns from the world. And I was shy. Believe it or not, I was shy. Stand up here. Like, no, this is your house. You go for it. I was like, sure. No. So Josh, thank you for your support and your friendship along the way. Can you grab it?
Well, no, I was gonna mention there's a couple more things.
Thank you.
So we have, this is your booklet. There's 2 of them, one for you, one for your mom. So it has your page, it has all the 80 of all the women of the year that are recognized this year. So you can read a little bit about all the other amazing women that are joining, and you can share that with your family as well. And then there's a little woman of the year. So and then of course the resolution. So let's continue. And after we take a picture, I'd like all the honorees to come up with their awards, and we'll all take a picture together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope my mom's still watching.
All right, over here. One, two, three. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so come on up. PJ, Victoria, Jean. Makers. All right, makers. All right.
Sit close to okay, sit close to each other. Yeah. Okay, bring. Okay, everyone. Okay.
Harper,
Harper got too excited.
Oh, Harper got too excited.
Yeah.
Oh, so Harper come here?
Yeah, she took a little bit of a spill.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. We'll get her over. We'll get her.
No problem. Thank you. Stand right here.
All right, this one's for Mom. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, you do something. Okay, Harper, ready, selfie.
That's a good selfie.
You are so good with your selfies.
Let me get something. Thank you, everybody, and Debbie, thank you so much. Yeah, so the food is all out there. Oh, everybody has a place, yeah. So all the food is out there. So thank you all so much again. Thanks to the Brit, thanks to all the honorees. Now let's just enjoy ourselves. meet each other, grab some food. You already have your plates. So go ahead and take your plate with you up to the table here to my left and grab some food. And thank you all so much for once again participating and joining us. Everybody online joining us for Women's History Month 2022. And we will see you in 2023 and hopefully again in person.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.